First Railroads Online stream for 2026. Whoop whoop! And I'm really close to unlocking the Cook consolidation. You know, which is on. Which is this bad boy over here. The Cook consolidation. Upgrade version of the Cook Mogul, which uses wood. Although I think it's kind of funny, there's two different versions of the Cook Mogul. There's one that uses wood, and one that uses coal. The one that uses coal looks really nice, you know. But I very much prefer the consolidation model, which sadly in real life is all but extinct. I mean, I do know they have a Cook Mogul at the Colorado Railroads Museum. In fact, oh, I really want to get this, but I am so close because customize it. I'm gonna name it Alma. Let's see. I know you can call it Alma. Let's see. Ah, Alma. Tender. It's different names of different railroads. That's cool. Central Pacific. D and RG, D and RGW. Let's see. Utah Railway. Colorado and Southern. A lot of these are familiar. Huh. Interesting. I think I'd go with the Utah Railway. There we go. Headlight. Oh! That's the headlight I want on the Cook consolidation. But it's just 50 more. Dang it. Hold on, I got a solution to this. Hold on. Can I deliver any more lumber? Yes, I can. Okay. I guess I'll do a quick lumber run, you know, from the sawmill and back. The last run of the moose run. Yeehaw! Let's get this wagon train moving. Top up the fuel in the moose gut, otherwise we're gonna 35% brakes should do. There, back to 100% fuel. One thing I forgot to turn back on is the danger cycle on. There we go. Yeehaw! entire train, everything but the locomotive. That's why you gotta slow down this bit over here. That was kind of funny. I forgot there was this one sharp turn down here. Oh man, yeah, this is what happens if you go too fast on really sharp turns. And you can literally, because you can clearly tell when a car derails, or is about to, wobbles violently back and forth, left and right on the track, you know? Because that's a sign that you need to slow down, or else you're gonna derail, which is kind of funny. Alright, guess I'll have to re-rail all these cars. Actually, I got an idea. Just need to make a quick buck delivering... Let's just deliver some beams at the freight depot. So, I'm going to fast travel with the re-rail setting real quick. Fast travel at the sawmill. This is a thing that a friend of mine taught me. Alright. I just need to re-rail this. Where is... Let's drop off logs. Ah, here it is. Just need to re-rail this where the beams are. Just load it up with some beams. Actually, how many logs do we have left in here? Oh, 38. It's perfect. Almost time for a full load of logs to sawmill. Alright, now I'm going to re-rail this. Fast travel to the freight depot. I will re-rail the moose gun, and it's full though. It was kind of funny where I accidentally derailed everything but the weight car and the engine. Anyways, there you go. Fast travel back here to the freight depot. Place the car there and blammo. Now I got enough for this new locomotive. I should have it at the sawmill after I re-rail this car back at the sawmill and the rest of it too. Yeah, there's... Wait, can I fast travel there? Dang it, there's no fast travel. We're over there. Just fast travel over here. Now, I believe that the longer... It should be south from here, where the Muska is. Just a little bit farther away. Should be right over here. I know, I think it's so funny that I accidentally derailed the entire thing, you know? It's so funny. Alright, let's re-rail these cars. Perfect. Alright, let's re-rail the rest. Set the brakes to 0. Set brakes to 0. There we go. I think I should move the weight car up the track a little bit more. Like up here should be good. All the way right as the curve starts to hit. There we go. There. Weight car, yep, is fully re-railed. Brakes 100%. Should be that way because that always goes on the end of the train. Unless they're box cars, then you have an actual caboose on the end. But that's a different story. Weight cars are usually used before cabooses were developed, you know. Not gonna turn the brakes to 0 on those cars just yet. Not until I have them all lined up, ready to reconnect to the Muska. In fact, I think I might just deliver some beams to the freight depot to make a quick buck, so I can have enough to get two ore carters, you know. Which I'll use to deliver iron from the iron mine to the iron works, which gives a ton of in-game cash and XP. Almost re-railed the entire train. Perfect. These last two cars should be it. Hopefully. Unless it is exactly 10 cars. You make sure the brakes are all lined up with each other. Last car. Perfect. Now I'll slowly set the brakes to 0 on these cars. Starting with the way car all the way up here. Now it's slowly just coasting on the track. Do the same with this car. Good thing you have a slamp. I have this lamp I could use in game to light up the area when it's at night. There we go. Should be coasting down the tracks now. Not so fast that I'll derail, but just fast. Just at decent enough speed. Oh, better set the brakes to 60%. There. Now just set the brakes on this car to 0, and we should be good to go. Perfect. Alright, check the brakes on this car. 0%, 0%. Alright. 0%. They're all set. Let's do 100% brake with 42% brake. I mean, 100% throttle with 42% brake. There we go, going 10 miles per hour. Let's check the map real quick. Now we're really close to the sawmill. That's good. Okay, no cars are left behind. That's all of them. I guess I can release the brakes and send it to 0 now, since the rest of the route is smooth sailing and 100% regulator, which is the throttle. But maybe just slow down to 24% brakes, just in case there's a tight turn like that. That was so funny though, I accidentally derailed the train. That's a good example of how realistic this game is. It's safe to go at 100% speed without any brakes from here. Yee! Yeehaw! Sorry about that, my controller disconnected again. I think it might be a sign I need to replace the cord, not the controller. The controller is just working fine. Almost there. There's the sawmill. And that'll be where I get the cook consolidation to park the Muska on one of the sidings. To deliver a full load of beams to the freight depot. Stop the train here. Alright, time to get the cook consolidation. Alright. Before we do that, let's check out the cars. Do I have access? Yes, I do. I have access to ATWNC hopper car. I mean, this is a nicer hopper car, but it carries less iron and coal. I like this one better. This one just looks a lot more better in my opinion. There's the first caboose, and we also we now have access to ventilated box car, stock car for cattle, tools, and meat. For the meat plant, I guess we could possibly do that industry. How much do these cars cost? Oof. It's a lot. Let's just start with the cook consolidation. Customize you. Name. I'll call you, let's see, Alma. Number, let's see. Let's have you be number 6. Alma 6. Okay. Tender. Let's do Utah Railway. There. Smokestack, I like the way it is. Headlight, there we go. Paint, ooh. Oh, nice. Let's zoom out and see that. Oh, nice. Look at that. 3. Okay, a little green and black. 4. Ooh. Nice. 5. That's cool. Okay, let's just stick with one. I like... Wait, it looks 1 or 3, maybe 3? I like number 1. Alright. Cook consolidation. Ooh, look at you. Alright, let's re-rail the moose. Actually, let's first re-rail the cook consolidation. Consolidation, I meant to say that. Oh, look at that, you get way more wood in the tender. The consolidations tender. Okay, perfect. Now let's re-rail the Muska. Okay, let's put you facing the other way on the siding. Perfect. Put the Muska's tender here, right behind it. Oops, it's backwards. Perfect. Alright, just need to reverse the Muska into this area over here, so the reverser, the reverse. Slowly back up into the buffers there. And perfect. Set throttle to 0, reverse the reverser. Set brakes to 0. Alright, perfect. Oh, look at you. Wait, can you have lamps on the... You can have lanterns on the front. I bet you can have lanterns on the tender. That's cool. Now, matching lanterns just like the way car. That's sweet. Wait, I wonder, does the Utah locomotive have that? I bet it does. Oh, yes it does. I see the slots for the lamps on the front and on the back. Ah, you know what, I want this to be the next locomotive I get, though it's not as strong as the Consolidation. Oh wait, it is just as strong. It's stronger. What? I might just get, you know what, I'll get this locomotive next. I'm really curious. How good is this Utah? I know the actual Utah Railway, which is a part of a city in Utah, has the Utah Railway has a reputation for having the steepest, inclines along with the most curvy track at the same time. You know, most steep and curvy track at the same time. And they have a reputation for developing really nice locomotives that could travel through said layout with ease, you know, because they're designed specifically for super heavy loads and steep grades, and not only that, designed to be really fast when it's not so steep, like this bad boy. I wish there was at least one of these left in existence. Love to try out this locomotive. You know, how about I get that one after I do this quick? I mean, probably have to do a couple lumber runs. Okay, quick consolidation. Oh, alright, it has no fuel in it. Well, I better get her fired up. Brakes are 100%. 100%. Perfect. 88? What? That isn't right. Oh, I think it's because there's no fuel in there. So we better start stoking it. There we go. Firing her up. There we go. Look at that. I wonder what your whistle sounds like. Really curious. I better move the tender right under this water tower, and I hope this one works. Because the lanterns are on the tender and on the engine, that means it's easier to see it at night. Okay. I don't know what the green or red lanterns are for. I think that's for like front and back kind of thing. Okay, spec. How do I actually get this to work? I know there's a ladder on the side. You actually climb up? Yes, you can. Okay, now what? You have to... Oh, it's a valve! No wonder it didn't work before. There's a valve you have to turn up here. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I think that actually makes it a whole lot easier, because then I could just, try to line this better with the spout. That is amazing, actually. Right, aligned to the spout. Alright. Alright, let's get that. It's exactly aligned, I think. Is it aligned with it? Oh, I need to flip it around. Just need to align the spout. There we go. Almost aligned. You know, I should... Is this engine fired up? Almost. But I think it's just enough to adjust this. Let's move you closer to your tender. I know I'm going to lose speed, but I'm not trying to go for speed. I just need to line the tender with the engine better. Perfect. Alright. Reverse. Let's try. Okay. Okay, I need to have the spout be straight all the way. Wait a minute. Oh, it's perfect. Almost aligned. I think I just need reverse just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Then you go forward just a tiny bit. 100% brakes. This is a little tricky. Perfect. That is perfectly aligned. Just need to double check that. Yes, it is. Alright. Valve set to 100%. There we go. Now it should be filling with water. Oh, it's doing it really fast. Alright, perfect. And we reached the maximum temperature for the fire. It's perfect. Almost all set up. I just need to fill this tender up all the way with water. At least until the gauge says it's full. Let's hear what your whistle sounds like. Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. Man, I bet back in the Wild West, these could consolidations with the workhorses of the railroads, you know? Along with their older brethren, the Class 70s. Yep, as soon as the water starts filling up in the hatch, that means that the tank in the engine is full, but this needs to be filled up all the way. Should take a minute. Almost there, the gauge is almost full. Oh, there's a compressor! Oh, nice! Oh, that adjusts the power of the brakes. Okay, that's cool. Oh, those are air brakes! Okay, so that's what that compressor's for. Wait, is there one on this? No, there is not, because it uses... Oh yeah, and the wiki also tells you about what kind of brakes these trains use. So let's go check it out. Locomotives, let's see the Muska, where is it? Where is it? Wait, that's the Cook. Wait, is that the Cook? Yeah, it's the Cook Mogul. Oh, there is the Muska. Let's see. Oh, water brakes. Interesting. Oh, that's right. I forgot. The Class 70, the Muska, use. Where is it? What? Oh, Class 70 uses air brakes. Huh. Air brakes. Okay, so the Class 70 did have air brakes, but I thought it had water brakes. I mean, maybe one of the earlier models did? Probably did. So the Musco uses water brakes. Interesting. Air, vacuum. Oh, the Masson Bogey. That's such a cool locomotive. But sadly, the last one that was on display at a college campus was scrapped for its. There's no surviving examples of this locomotive today, which is really sad because Masson Bogey is such a cool looking locomotive and a very unique one, you know. Now here's some history about the Utah. The 062 ST is a rather unique design used only by the Utah Railroad of Mac, Colorado. The Utah Railroad primarily hauled Eulisnite, a material used for making asphalt, but also occasionally hauled passenger trains. The Utah Railroad was noted for its steep grades and windy track. One curve known as Morrow's Castle sported a 66-degree curve on a 7.5% grade. That's steep, requiring the most powerful and unusual locomotives for the railroad. The Utah tank was primarily used as their passenger engine, hauling a single coach or two behind it as it navigated the intense right-of-way. Yep, it's a passenger train, but also was used as a cargo locomotive too. Let's see. And this is the Cook Consolidation. Don't know why it doesn't call it that, but it does. But it is called DSP and P EJ1. But in Railroads Online, I call it the Cook Consolidation because that's what it says in the when you look at it. Cook Consolidation class formed the backbone of the Denver South Park and Pacific Railroad. With a total of 20 locomotives purchased by Railroad for freight service between Denver, Baldwin, and Leadville, if one was passerby in DSP&P territory during the late 1800s, it's most likely that a Cook 280 would be the engine that rolled by with its train. The Cook Consolidation class served the railroad for approximately 40 years through the Denver, Leadville, and Gunson rebranding through the Colorado and Southern merger. The class was withdrawn one by one, and the last of the classes vacated in 1921. Some were sent to Milwaukee Road, narrow gauge range lines. No example of this class survived preservation. That's really sad because I really like the Cook Consolidation. The Ruby Basin, which I think is supposed to be an upgraded, at least a more advanced design, more advanced version of the Utah locomotive. Look, they're both tank engines with an eerily similar design. Like, look, they're so similar, but it's much bigger, and it's got, it's an identical. They're near exact, except the whistles might be different. Although the paint jobs too. The Heisler, the rotary plow, built by Cook Locomotive Works, is critical for fighting snow in San Juan Mountains. Rotary plows of this type are steam-driven, but are not self-propelling vehicles. The boiler and dry chain provide power only to the rotary at the front of the machine. Oftentimes, it would take several locomotives at once to push the plow through the main deep snow. Many rotaries are eventually converted to diesel or built new similar types that still survive today. Some Cumbrous Intelligent Scenic Railroad. Interesting. Climax, that's a logging locomotive. Steam brakes. There's the Class 70. What kind of baffles me is where's the Class 60? If you have the Class 70 and 47, where's the Class 60? Like, is this supposed to be the Class 60? No, that's a Cook Mogul. It's kind of weird that there's no Class 60. Like, shouldn't there be a Class 60? Like, if there's a Class 70, shouldn't there be a Class 60, as it says in the description? Okay, what's the water level looking on this? Ooh, almost finished. So look at the wiki some more about some history. Like, it's kind of weird, because there's no Class 60 in this game. I feel like there should. That there should be a class, that they should have the Class 60, though it's not as good as the Class 70. It'd be nice to have it historically accurate. Or is it not preservation? That's really sad. Oh, here's another one. The Baldwin 10-24 1/2-2E. This locomotive is one of 3 engines built for East Tennessee and Western North Carolina Railroad. On the narrow gauge portion of their line, known as the Blue Ridge Steam Winder, locomotives 4, 5, and 6 were constructed in 1903 and were used until 1935 and 1940, though it is unknown when 4 was taken off the roster and scrapped. No locomotives of this type survive into preservation. That's sad. I definitely know there's got to be a Lima consolidation. Big steam engine. Built for the Mitchell Brothers Lumber Company, the by Lima, this engine represents the rare occasion when Lima Locomotive Works constructs a conventional steam locomotive for 3-foot narrow gauge. Yeah, Lima is known for 4-foot gauge locomotives, so this is really unusual. This is what makes it unique, is it's narrow gauge. For 3-foot narrow gauge operations, the locomotive eventually went to the Thunder Lake narrow gauge, became their number 9. While there, it received added odd modifications by Chicago Northern Western, owing to its interesting stack type. The engine was not built with modern appliances despite being built in 1907 after knuckle couplers with dynamo-powered electric lamps had become part of the mainstream. Steam locomotive design was later fitted with these appliances. While having a decently long career, this engine was presumed to have been scrapped at the end of its working life. That's a long time. Wow. It's got 19,000 tractive effort. Now, I definitely know there's 2 surviving Class 125s. Denver, Rio Grande made a major upgrade in their motive power. Wait, in 1903, major upgrade in their motive power. Previously having no engines larger than 280, the 280 consolidation, the Rio Grande purchased a series of locomotives it designed as their Class 125. An engine weighing, 100,000, 25,000 pounds, is the largest engine on narrow gauge at its time. A Vulcan compound 4-cylinder Mikito 282 with 28,000 pounds of tractive effort, far surpassing anything Rio Grande previously operated. They are known as mud hens for their tendency to waddle like a hen. As they lumbered down the track, consistently unclean and covered in rail-side mud, they ran successfully in service until a narrow gauge met its end. However, the Vulcan compound arrangement proved difficult and costly to maintain, therefore engines were converted to a 2-cylinder slide valve arrangement. They were rebuilt 3 times, eventually entering their well-known K27 configuration. After the new Denver and Rio Grande Western reclassified the rolling stock, 4 engines released to the Rio Grande Southern. Many became switchers as the more powerful Big Ks took over the K27's duties. 2 of these locomotives survive in preservation. These are number 463 at Cumbrous and Toltec Scenic Railroad and 464 at Huckleberry Railroad. Both continued to run 120 years after they were built? That's nuts. Sorry if I was a little loud, it was just, that's nuts. It's the longest surviving locomotive. Sadly, no working examples of this one exist anymore. Baldwin received the order for a heavy articulated locomotive with specific requests that they could take a 66-degree curve on a 7.5% grade. Sound familiar? The builders are most likely left scratching their heads. The largest 3-foot gauge locomotive ever to run in the United States was born, and 2 were delivered to the Utah Railway of Mac, Colorado in 1926, numbered 50 and 51. The engines served the railroad, hauling Gillisonite along with notorious Utah trackage. But eventually the railroad sold them in 1940. The 2 massive engines were rehomed to the Sumter Valley Railroad, where their tanks were removed and tenders were added, and they were renumbered to 250 and 251. The engines ran in this configuration until being sold to the International Railways of Central America in Guatemala, where after a long career of running, they were scrapped in 1962 and 1964 in the town of I can't pronounce that. Yeah, it's sad that none of this biggest narrow gauge locomotive exists anymore. I mean, it would have been cool if there was one left in preservation. But it kind of scratches my head. It kind of leaves me scratching my head. How come they only built 2? Like, if they built more, they could have made a lot more money hauling heavy loads, cargo, and stuff. Let's check out the fuel level. Ah, maxed out. Better turn the valve back to 0. There. And better put away the boom arm for the chute spout. There we go. Close the hatch. Alright, we're all ready to go. Gonna re-rail this, starting with the engine on the main track. Perfect. And the tender. They worked really hard in the history, right, with some of this stuff, you know, the locomotives. Anyways, set the brakes to 0, reverse. 32% should do. Oh wow, that's fast. Okay, 32% brakes. Wow, this thing's strong. This thing's a really strong locomotive. Okay, first I need to stock up on fuel. Let's look how much wood you can store in this. Holy cow. It's a lot. Back to 100%. Brakes is set 0%. Alright. That's a regulator. Ah, there's the reverser. Let's do 26% brakes moving forward. Let's hear what your whistle sounds like. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, the brakes are nice too. All right. Waiting to load the beams. There we go. Although I kind of find interesting is when you look at the locomotives here, I have the map Mastodon. There's nothing about the Mastodon in the history part of the wiki. I kind of find that weird. Like, I feel like they should fix that. Although, sometime I like to look up the history of the Mastodon, because this is an impressive locomotive. 19,000 tractive effort. Man, the DNRG class of 25 has 28,000 tractive effort. But the Mastodon is an absolute beast of a locomotive, I say. Man, the Utah 2662T is such a cool locomotive. Alright, let's continue loading beams. I kind of find it weird that there's nothing about the Mastodon, you know? Because I feel like there should be, I don't know, like some history, but there should be, I don't know, I kind of wish they had some information, more information about the Mastodon, because it's a really cool locomotive. Alrighty, here we go. Last two cars coming up. Alright. Alright, all set. Just need to change the switch on the tracks back to the freight depot, since we're not delivering these beams to the iron mine just yet. Although I kind of wish that, you know what, one thing I'd like to do in the near future is rebuild the track over here so you don't have to do U. So it's not in the shape of U, but just go straight to the freight depot, switch over here, you know? I think that would be much better. Plus, I'm getting more powerful locomotives like the Cook. Sorry about that. Controller disconnected again. Getting more powerful locomotives like the Cook. Consolidation here. Alright, all set. Love that whistle. Let's have the brakes at 58%. Because I have no idea how fast we're going to go with this locomotive. Maybe a little bit faster. 42% brakes, 25%. There we go. Wow, holy cow, we're at 33% brakes and we're almost reaching a speed of 20 miles per hour. It's crazy. Let's see how fast we go at full speed. Oh wow. We're going to reach 20 mph by the time we're literally so close to reaching 20 miles per hour. Wow, so cool. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lamp in front. There we go. Oh, fix this track over here so it just goes straight instead of having to curve so much. Alright. Okay, those switches are set. So are those... Why does it go straight to the roundhouse? Oh wait, never mind. It just goes to over here. Switch that. So I'm gonna have to switch this. There we go. Switch that track. Now we can unload at the freight depot. Perfect. Got a Baldwin Class 47 there and a Eureka. Nice. Alright, now the switches are set. Just need to double check that. Fun here. Well, that's a really sharp turn. Better go 3-4% brakes. Maybe 25% would be better, because you're slowing down a lot. 17. Oh, we're going up really steep. Great, so makes sense. Just didn't want to end up derailing over there. Turn ahead. In fact, I might just have to redo the track over here. Have it just go straight over the hill instead of around it. Mainly because I think because I have a more powerful engine, it can handle it easier. A whole lot easier. There we go, now we're good. Alright, here we go. Almost there. According to the map. Oh, it's the final stretch before we reach the freight depot. Train's moving slow, better change the weather that's going on in the game to, let's do a light snow. There. Look at that. You know what? I change it back. I take it back. I kind of like having blizzard. Let's do heavy snow. Oh, that looks nice. Depot, ready to unload these beams. We're making money from the. Oh, I can't unload it. Here, where you load seed pallet cars that can carry seed pallets. That's from the wheat farm, where you deliver wheat to the cow farm, you know. You deliver cows to the meat packing plant, you know. Which makes sense. In fact, that's a very profitable way. It's a very profitable industry in Railroads Online, but it takes a lot of time to do so. In fact, there's an achievement that I need to do that involves that. I plan on doing that much later, after I get the ironworks up and running. Okay, let's just stop the train here. How much did I make? Ooh! I made enough for a single iron mine car. Oh wait, there's one more thing of beams. Still hear the whistle? That is a loud whistle. That is cool. Time to unload this last car. Oh, I made 1,000. Nice. A whole load of beams is 1,000. Okay, that's nice. Let's see. So, let's see, how much exactly do those hopper cars cost? 850. Dang, I just need one more 1,000, and then I have enough to carry 20 iron. Then I have 2 cars to carry 20 iron. Because one of these hopper cars carries 20 iron, 10 iron. You know, so 2 of these have a total of 20. Locomotives. Love to get this guy next. The Utah 062 STD3. Think I'd love to get this locomotive next after I get 2 hopper cars at least. So you start working on the iron mine. And maybe get some of these. Can this carry? Oh, this can carry seed pallets. Okay. Grain to end tools. Sweet. Didn't know this could be used to carry tools. Interesting. So these 2 cars are specifically for the meat industry. I don't know exactly how much they carry, but consulting the wiki here will help. Let's see, where are those cars? Ah, boxcar. 12 grain, 14 seed pallets, 36 meat. That's a lot of money right there. 6 cattle. And if we look at the industry part of the wiki, then we can see exactly what the meat packing. Okay, the meat packing plant has a maximum limit of 50, but there's one drawback to this: is you need coal. Like, essentially, the input-output shows exactly the ratio that is required to get what you need in the output. In this case, would be meat, packed meat, which the limit is 100. So if you just need 1 coal with 1 cattle, then you just need 50 coal and 50 cattle to get 100 meat. Because it's a 1-to-2 ratio. The cattle farm, yeah, you need water, straw bales, which means you also need, oh, where is it? Which means you also need this water tank car that's specifically designed for water. Sadly, you can't use Coffin or the Lake Tahoe tank car because those are designed for oil, not water. From what I know, this tank car is one of the only ones that can carry water in the entire game. Actually, it's one of 2 cars that can carry water. You have this water tank car that's much cheaper, but it's very small. Doesn't carry as much. You have these smaller scale cars, and I bet you're asking, why are there smaller scale cars? Well, because they're really small scale locomotives. Like the Porter, aka the Betsy, as us RailroadsOnline players would call it, is one of the few starter locomotives you start with, and also one of the first conventional steam locomotives. Hence why there's smaller scale versions of all the cars. For everything but for the meat packing plant industry, you know? Which is interesting. So if I were to do that, I think I'd have like 2 of these ventilated box cars. But since these carry 5 cattle, I think I have 2 of these stock cars and 2 of these box cars. In total, 2 of each of those 3 cars. With 1 water tank car. Actually, maybe 2. Dang, I just need to do another quick run of beams. I'm just gonna flip around the cut consolidation, because I do not have time to do a full loop around. Plus, that takes a very long time to do that. So re-railing is faster. Perfect. Re-rail the way car all the way at the end. Set the brakes to 0. Same with the tender. You always make sure the brakes and the tender are set to 0. Otherwise, you could be going a whole lot slower than you'd be going. Reversing. You know what? Let's do it first person. There we go. Reversing the reverser. Okay, slowly backing up. Okay, everything's all set. Time for another quick run to the sawmill. Although what's crazy about this game is that when you reach the end game, which is level... Actually, hold on, let me stop the train for a second. When you reach the end game and unlock the last 2 cars at the very end, which is the DNRG high side gondola, which for some reason there's no information about it in the wiki, a side that can carry 15 gold ore, but can carry 22 iron ore and coal, which is nice. Really good for the end game. And you also have this Essential Colorado BMX mail car, aka a gold car, because this is supposed to carry refined gold and gold ingots, which is supposed to be end game tier. Because we look at the my handy dandy wiki here and go to freight. Just look how much you get from gold ore itself. 600 currency. It's nuts, and 50 XP. But it skyrockets from there. Because you have to deliver gold ore to the stamping mill, which turns into refined gold, which gives you 3,000 for one. That's nuts. And then finally you have gold ingots, which is double that amount. More than double. 6,400 with 100 XP. Which this can only be carried along with refined gold. Can only be carried in the mail cars, which are 1,000 each. Well, you wouldn't have to worry about making money when you can easily do these. Although if you ask me, it's easier doing the meat industry if you have friends in Railroads Online that can do the other deliveries for you while you do one, so you can multitask. Like, let's say I was doing a quick load of seed, just loading up the wheat farm with seed packets and all that, you know. And then I take the wheat there and deliver it to the cattle farm. Well, a buddy of mine will be delivering water to the cattle farm too, which is nice. And then third guy would come in and deliver the cattle to the meat packing plant. Well, fourth guy works on loading up the coal mine and sending coal to the meat packing plant, you know? To get packed meat, you know? Which is a lot of in-game currency, in my opinion. Which is just as much as refined oil. That's a hard industry, because there's a ton of steps doing that. First thing you need to do for the oil industry is load up the oil well, which you need steel pipes, and not only that, you also need wood beams, 30 wood beams to be exact. I can pull up the wiki real quick. Industries, okay. Oil field, you need 30 wood beams, 30 steel pipes, and 100 tools to get 24. Now that's a lot. Plus, and then there's the refinery, which there's a cargo limit of 1,000 crude oil. That's nuts. And you need the maximum limit for lumber is 50, and steel pipes is 100. That's nuts. And oil barrels is 200. You know, maybe I should stop the train over here and redo the tracks that go to the sawmill. Hold on, I just need to do something. Turn off day cycle and set the time for when there's light. There, 2 p.m. will do. And set the weather to what just happened? I just got kicked out of the game. That was weird. I hope I didn't lose any major progress like the Cook consolidation. Sorry about that. That was technical difficulties. Back to Aurora Falls Railroad. Or the Aurora Railroad for short. Alrighty. Loading back in. All I did was just change the weather to thunderstorm. I think I accidentally did something wrong. I think I should have just have it set to like a nice sunny day, have it to like a nice sunny weather and all that. It's loading. There we go, back here. Screen's frozen. Tonight, I better stop the Cook consolidation. Yep, leaving freight depot. Wait until it comes to a halt. Why is it still moving? If I turn on the brakes of the tender, that would slow it down. Perfect. Alright, now to change the weather. Clear skies, perfect. Let's do nice clear skies. Change the time of day. There we go, perfect. Okay, where's sawmill? Okay, it's a specific part of the track I want to change, like where it's in the shape of a U. Like, why does it have to curve like that when you could just go straight ahead? I think it's over here. Yeah, this is a big problem. I feel like it needs to just go straight through here. I don't see any problem with that. So we're gonna do something I haven't showed you guys before in this game. Let's do a little demolition right over here. Delete those rails. And place some track. So I place track. Press Y on Xbox. Choose variants. High ballast. Okay. Oh wait, that's right. I gotta do the tracks on the other side. For over here. Exactly right here. There. There we go. And there we go. High ballast. Now let's see if this actually would work. Just need to go straight over here. Too far above the ground. What? Hold on. Too far? Wait a second. Okay, there we go. Have it go straight. Whoa. Just have it go like a nice down incline. There we go. Oh wow. Oh, that means it's too far. Why isn't it rendering? Oh, there we go. Negative 10%. Yeesh. Let's do it over here. Let's try that again. There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay. There we go. Look at that. I mean, it's a little sharp at the... Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I could fix that. A little too sharp on the curve. Oops, not mean to select more demolition. High ballast. Okay. Let's try it this way. Like, try connect it from there. Okay. Maybe I just need to... Oops. Have an idea. Okay, just turn it just a little bit to the right until there. Now I just need to lower it. Perfect. I think negative 8 is perfect. There we go. Now it just turns just a little bit, so it's pointing in the right direction. There we go, now the tracks are free. And finally... Oh, tracks are not green, so that means it will not connect. Oh, wait. If I just set it up just right over here, like that. There. Then I connect it again from here. Ta-da! That's how you place track in Railroads Online. Although I think I might have to do a little demolition here, because the tracks are way too in the ground. So I copy this, place it right here, so I can improve upon that mistake. Try that again. So instead of negative 8%, let's try negative 7.5%. That's precise. Let's try negative, hold on, it's a little higher. Might have to cut down some trees. Let's try having it a little bit higher over here instead. Cut down some trees in the way. Alright, and done. That is how you place track in Railroads Online. At least that's how I do it. Now let's try this new route out. At least let's try out this new track I made. This new powerful locomotive, the Cook Consolidation. Because I bet it'll run well. Because look at that! A straight shot to the sawmill from here, instead of having to go around in a U-turn like this over here, you know? It's overly complicated. Just go straight through, I say, you know? I don't mind this little ridge thing over here. It's fine. Perfectly fine. I mean, although I could change the track over here so it isn't so curvy weird. So, I'm going to do some more demolition. I really want to show you guys how fun this is. You can place your own track the way you want it. So, have it be a straight shot from here, so... Oh, I see. Perfect spot to do a little demolition. Perfect. There we go. Demolish that. That. And that. Just demolish the... Keep demolishing this until... I reach all the way over... Here. Perfect. Now, we go track placement. High ballast. I love using the high ballast because it's pretty fun. Alright. It's a free placement, so probably be close to the ground. Unless you do it in a certain way. Oh, never mind. So let's go to precise mode. Track placement. There's two placement modes. There's free, where it lets you do this, and all that. There's precise. Set straight. Now it is straight. There we go. See desired distance. If it's green, if the tracks are green, then that means you can place them in the track placer. Okay, looks like we just need to curve the track just a tiny little bit. Reduce the height a lot. Sometimes it does that. Think 3% per target size. Not. 3.5%. There we go. 4%. Wow, this steep incline. Just turn to the right a little bit until we're perfectly aligned with the track over here. Keep turning to the right by a couple more degrees. Just right. Perfect. Look at that. Not as curvy, but hey, it's a lot more straight. Cut these trees down. Just making sure there aren't any saplings in the track like there were on Mesa Plains. You all remember how funny that was. It's one of my first Railroads Online streams. Alright. Cut down these trees because they're way too close to the tracks. Alright, back to track placement. Track with high ballast. Now let's do free placement for the rest of it. Okay, and it should be done. Look at that! A lot less curvy, more straight. Much like Khan's Straight Line Railco series. I'm a really big fan of that guy. You know, he's a fun YouTuber. Did really fun Railroads Online videos. Loved watching those. There, now we have a straight shot to the sawmill. It'll be a lot faster. Let's try out this new track I just placed. With the Cook consolidation. Look at the way. Sorry about that. Look at the weather here. It's amazing. Alright. Ooh, cut that tree. Cut these trees down. Way too close. And definitely in the balance. That is not a good thing. Okay. Don't worry about those trees. Those aren't too... Wait a minute. This tree's too close. Cut these trees down. They're way too close to the tracks. There we go. Look at that! Straight shot to the sawmill from here. Now let's try out this new route. Now I kept the old tracks from their old placement area just in case doesn't work. Where's the Cook consolidate? Ah, there it is. Very excellent locomotive. Should cut down these trees over here. They are way too close as per railroad regulation. Cut these trees down too. Absolutely amaze buckets here. Cutting down trees because they are way too close in my book. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, let's see. Fuel needs to be maintained. Perfect. Alright, let's go. Try this new track I placed. Full steam ahead. Yeehaw! that's right, set the brakes in the tender. That's where we're going a lot slower. Okay, it should be skyrocketing now. Yeehaw! Here we go. I'm gonna slow down. Push some brakes. %, brakes should be nice. Make a little bit less, 20%. Here we go. Well, let me stop the cook consolidation real quick and set the weather back to blizzard because I feel like it's a whole lot better. Heavy snow blizzard. There we go. Much better. Plus, there's another reason why I like having it set to blizzard, and that's simply because, for some strange reason, like, there's, like, some rendering glitch when it's, like, clear skies or not snowing, you know, that the ground looks kind of warped and stuff. Snow hides that. That's what I like about blizzard. Wait, that tree, those trees are way too close. Cut down. There we go. Okay, it's the new track. Here we go. This will probably be a lot faster going to Sawmill and back. Look, we're going so much faster. Holy cow, we're about to reach 40, we're at 30 miles per hour, accelerating faster and faster. Oh, holy cow, holy cow, we're about to reach 40 miles per hour. This is so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down. That was so close, we almost derailed the train. Look how much faster we're going. We're skyrocketing off the track. if I had like a more powerful engine, I could achieve 60, like a Mastodon, which I definitely know has almost double the amount of tractive effort as the Class 70 does. Sorry about that, my controller accidentally got disconnected. Let's take a quick look at the Mastodon compared to the Cook consolidation tractive effort. Tractive effort determines many things about a locomotive, like how much it can pull and or how well it will do on steeper grades. Class 70 is at 15,000 tractive effort. The Cook consolidation is at 13,000. It's a 2,000 difference. 2001 difference. The Mastodon has 19,000 tractive effort. So that's... let me think. That for a second. That is a... that's a 5,000... that's 5,000 tractive effort difference. Although the Class 125 has 28,000. And this massive beast of a locomotive has 42,000 tractive effort, built to carry the heaviest possible loads and also withstand the steepest curves and the great inclines. Is also the heaviest out of all of them, which is nuts. It's crazy. Plus, we had a whole lot less cars, we would achieve even faster speed. Calculating that, you know. And the achievement just popped. Oh my gosh. I can't believe there's an achievement you get for achieving 40 mph, miles per hour. I think that's nuts. Just really nuts right there. It kind of reminds me of this really funny reel I saw on Instagram the other day that goes like this. Put this as a picture of one of those speed measuring trailers on the side of the road. And the description says, put this fun carnival game on the side of the road. And then there's a sign that says, highest score 58. It's so funny. Cracks me up every time I think about that. It's pretty funny. Alright. And stop right there. Load the train up. Perfect. But let me tell you this, tracks are not the only things you could demolish with the demolition tool. You can also do cars, industries, and everything that is destructible with the demolition tool. Which I think is nice, because then it also allows you, you're also allowed to like place multiple of one industry. I'll give you a quick example of this. I go to construction menu, industries. I could place another sawmill, gold smelter, stamp mill, railway express agency, dredge, gold mine, meat packing plant, cattle farm, water well, wheat farm. You're only allowed to have 3 of each, which is nice. There's a limit for that. I bet you're gonna ask, what is the Red Mountain Depot? It's just a really small, tinier version of the freight depot, except it doesn't produce the seed pallets like the regular one that's much larger, which I find really interesting. But it's more of like a, I don't know, I guess the whole point, I don't know what the whole point of the smaller depot is. I guess if you're doing like a harder, trying to do a harder challenge, you know, stuff that could be useful, fun. Alright, here we go. Last 2 cars, here we go. Alright, here we go, last 2 cars to load up with beams. Just to deliver this to the freight depot. Here we go. On our way. Now let's see how the Cook consolidation handles that very steep but yet very efficient new track I placed. Alright, here we go. Full steam ahead. Yeehaw! In fact, this is really funny. There's this other really funny short that involves Railroads Online that makes you crack up and laugh my pants off every time. We all have seen, if you all seen the Emperor's New Groove, specifically the scene that goes, pull the lever, frog, rock lever! It's that, but it's in Railroads Online, where there's I think it's Ruby Basin or Utah locomotive going down the track, and there's a switch track, there's a guy at the switch, and the engineer goes, pull the lever, frog, rock lever! Because the other track on the switch track is unfinished. It's so funny. Because you see the train coming roaring down the track at lightning fast speed. And then you hear pull the lever, frog, rock lever! And then the train falls down the unfinished track. It's so funny, I love that. I'd like to recreate that sometime. It's pretty funny. Alright, full steam ahead. Yeehaw! It. Here we go. At full speed, no brakes. This is really nice. Hopefully the Cook consolidation is able to handle this. It's got really good tractive effort, going nice, almost 20 miles per hour. We're not slowing down, this is great. There we go. It's getting steeper. We're not slowing down, this is great. Here we go. We're still going. It can handle it. Perfect. That is perfect. Oh wait, that's not even it. Okay, it's just the normal part. At least it's just adjusted track. Alright, here we go. This is it. This is the real test. Alright, fingers crossed. Here we go. Come on. Oh, we can handle a full load of beams. Yep. Oh. Oh. We're slowing down. Come on. Come on. Come on, number 6. You can do it. Come on. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's just a straight shot from here. Come on. No. Turn on the sander. No. I should have the sand run. I guess I'll have to do a double header. Now, if you don't know what a double header is, let me give you some context for that. Okay. A double header is where you have two locomotives connected back to back, front to back, you know, one in front of the other, and they're all pulling a super heavy load. Essentially, the Rio and Grand, you know, wouldn't normally do that because of a certain incident where they had a really powerful locomotive behind a not as powerful locomotive. I don't know exactly what type of engine it was. All I know is that there was at the very front of the train. This incident was let's use for example, let's just use a Eureka as an example. It was at the front, very front, and there is a Class 70 directly behind it. And essentially, what happened is that the Eureka was derailed off the track because the Class 70 was going faster than the Eureka could, you know? And then all of a sudden, the Eureka is just sent flying off the tracks because how much more powerful the Class 70 is. Because simply, in more simpler terms, it was shoved off the track. Which is the craziest part. Oh man, we're so closer than that super steep grade. Maybe if I didn't do it so steep it would work better. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Alright, we got the Muska in front. Maybe double header would work. So I know it's easy for engines to come down a steep grade, but it's harder going up. Because it's a lot different going up and down, you know. Just coasting, please don't die. Oh, perfect. Oh no! Oh no! It's sliding down! No! It's so bad! No! Stop! Stop! Hold the brakes! Hold the brakes! No! Stop! Right there. It's still going! I gotta apply the brakes in the tender! It's still going! A lot slower though. Applying brakes on both tenders, I think that should do the job. Severely slowed it down. I guess I'll have to fire up the Muska. Well, it's almost coming to a halt. Nice. Alright, better fire you back up, Muska. You're not retired just yet. I mean, not fully retired. Perfect. Alright. Let her fire up there. Activate the brakes on these two cars here. If you're wondering why my voice sounds different, it's because I got a Jolly Rancher in my mouth. That's right. It's still going! What? Should have stopped already. I got so many brakes. I got so many brakes activated. Come on, stop, stop, stop. I guess I get to show you another cool, neat feature that's in Railroads Online. It's still going! Almost fired. Okay, the Muska's almost fired up. Gotta maintain fuel on both locomotives. Let's see, fuel. Okay, temperature is still rising in the boiler. Have to wait until it says that 700 degrees Fahrenheit for fire. The water should be at 337. redo this track entirely. Specifically this section of the track. Alright. How's Muska doing? Almost fired up. Almost there, just 100 more degrees, then we're all good. Better start disengaging all the brakes. They're slowing this down from going so far down. There we go. That's going faster. Better check the brakes up here. Okay, good. Now I just need to disengage the tender brakes, and we should be good to go. Along with the engine brakes, too. Now watch this. Alright, full throttle! Yeah, this is so cool. This is the cool thing about doing a double header in Railroads Online. Is this. That you control both locomotives that are connected to each other at the same time. Look at that, finally going up the tracks. Whee! Not enough? No! Guess we'll go the other way and try this from the bottom. Here we go! We're gonna achieve 60 mph. I have a feeling we'll do that. Look at it go! We're going so fast! Let's go full steam ahead. Let's go! We actually made it up here! Holy cow! That was so crazy. Yeah, so awesome. Now we're talking speed. Yeehaw! Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. I think 27% brakes. Perfect. Actually 44 since we're doing a double header. Which makes sense, you know? Alright, time to unload these manually. Ooh, almost have enough for 2 hopper cars. Sweet! And take those to the iron mine straight away. There we go. Unload these. Perfect. Alright. We have enough for those 2 iron ore cars. Now this is where we start to make a ton of money in game. Let me tell you why that is. Because iron gives you a ton of in-game currency when you deliver vast amounts of it. Let's get 2 of these. Not gonna name those 2 cars. There. Re-rail these cars. There we go. This is a freight depot after all. Okay, make sure the brakes are facing each other. There we go, re-rail this car. I think it's good that we should have 2 of these cars, because we have too many It's gonna be hard going up and down super steep grades, so I think just 2 of these would be perfect. Alright, I'm gonna re-rail. You know, why don't we take the Class 47 out for a spin? But first, let me see what the whistle sounds like. Oh, it's nice. That's nice. It's cute. I think I'll take the Class 47 though. I think I'll just take the code consolidation. Because we're gonna make a ton of money this last bit of RailroadsOnline. Enough to get another locomotive or even level up to get the Class 70. Ooh, we're almost halfway there to getting it. Sweet! Alright, just seeing if we can reel the locomotive. I bet you're gonna ask, where's the iron ore gonna be delivered? Well, that's where the fun part comes in. It's gonna be delivered to the iron works, which is where rails and stuff get made. Which is reverse the reverser, slowly back into here. Turn off the brakes for the tender. That was so crazy going up that super steep incline. I bet it'll be no problem just having 2 cars. Actually, oops, I better meant to set the throttle to 0 and 100% brakes there. I'm gonna re-rail this caboose that actually came with the map. Sometimes you get a really cool locomotive that's like an early game locomotive of sorts, like this Class 47, you know? Or just have a couple of cars like this bobber caboose, you know? Which is a nice early version. Actually, I think this is the last version of the caboose you can use in the game. It has 3 spots. There's 3 spots for using the brakes. The back, the front, and the interior. And this over here, this little nook up here at the top of the caboose, is the cupola. Hence why this car is completely called the caboose. Actually, I think this is the last one, because there'd be like a desk here, office desk right here, the last one. But there's a desk here, because this is the cool thing about the caboose, is that it acts like a mobile office for the train engineers back here. And thanks to this cupola up here, you can see what's going on up front, you know? While with the rest of the train, see if there's like viaduct or any destroyed track ahead or anything blocking the track or anything else. And the spotter also has access to the master brakes, which are right here, which has some really powerful brakes in the caboose, which is useful for slowing down the train or stopping it completely if it's a small one, so before it derails or crashes to prevent it from happening, which I think is pretty nice. Let's check that the brakes aren't disengaged for these cars. Yep, they are. All set for the iron mine. Okay. Just need to make sure the switches are all set first. Let's head straight to the sawmill. There you go. Yeehaw! We're gonna go a lot faster now with just 3 cars. Slowly come up on this turn. Better stock up fuel on element number 6. Alright, here we go. Gonna go down that super steep grade again. That required a double header to go back up it, so here we go. Okay, we're so good, so good. Here we go. Full speed ahead. Yeehaw! Full steam ahead. Alright, here we go. Here we go, lightning fast here. Getting speed. Going so fast. Whee! Almost 40 miles per hour. Look at we go. Oh man, 40 miles per hour. Past 40. We're derailing. Stop. Ah, my character was set flying. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. The tender derailed. That was so funny. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. And my character was flying out of the locomotive. That was even funnier. That was so funny. My character was just flying after racing down that track, you know? Okay, we better reverse and get the tender all connected. Almost derailed right there. Set brakes to 0, reverse the reverser. Oops. Set the brakes to 0 accidentally. Okay, now we're all set. I think we're good to go full speed the rest of the way. That was so crazy though. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. Tender derailed. Better slow down. So that doesn't happen again. 30% brakes. Alright, I think we're good. Day-night cycle is now back on. Okay, I'd say that new track I placed is pretty nice. Well placed. I think I better stop the train over here and switch the tracks manually. Like you can either do stuff manually or just from a certain menu. Okay, set that for the iron mine. Better switch this. Perfect. Alright, head straight for the iron mine. Full steam ahead. Yeehaw! There's ironworks not that far from the iron mines, so doing a short trip there and back. There we go, back to 100%. There's the ironworks. Oh, that's odd. There should be able to go straight from there, you know, like have a two-way switch that goes to here, here, you know, switch from over here, over here, down this way. Interesting. I find it weird. Ironworks is where we're supposed to drop off. Oh, that's, oh, wait, that's, it's the, oh, not the ironworks, it's this place. The smelter, that's where you're supposed to deliver iron. Not the ironworks is where you deliver steel. Which is really heavy stuff. Almost there. There's the iron mine. just a tiny bit. More. Line it up better. And there, watch. That's 10 iron. That's a lot of money right there. Oops. Set the reverser forward. Time to load the second car. There. All loaded up. I think I'll end my stream here because it's gone for almost... You know what? I think I'll just keep going. Time to deliver this to the iron... To the... not the ironworks. To the smelter. Whoa, look at that. The smelter and the iron mine are a ways away. It's all windy, curvy stuff. I think I should fix the track over there first. Like, I don't see the point of having it be all curvy, like... Just going out like all curvy like over here and stuff, you know? It's all windy and bendy. I don't see why it shouldn't be a straight shot from there to there. I think I'll fix that by going over. I'll start that by going over here. So I'm gonna fix the track. First, I need to turn off day-night cycle, set it to earlier time. There we go. Set the weather. Clear skies. Okay, let's fly up and find that route. Okay, let's see. It should be directly south from here, so... Just flying through here. Yeah, look at that, it's all curvy and stuff. You could just go straight through, in my opinion. Then you wouldn't risk derailing so much. Let's go where it stops. It should be over here. Yeah, right here is where it stops. So, I'm gonna go over here to this curve. Track here, and do so over here. So if I just continue this way for a while, it'll be right over here where I actually maybe I keep some of it because it looks well built. I don't think I could go full speed over here, maybe. I'm not sure. I think over here is where I demolished this track. Now we're going to use a special type of track I haven't used in a while. It's not the embedded track. Where is it? Ah! Wood trestle bridge. Actually, steel trestle bridge. I'm going to use this. Precise. Let's do 5.5%. That's good for a... What? Wait, it's not straight. There, now it's straight. 5.5% will not do, let's see, 7. So 5, 8, 9, 10%? Question mark? Whoa, not even 10% can cover that? Yeesh, that's some serious mountain range right there. Here's a better idea. How about less curvy? What's this over here? This is... I think this might be leftover from the developers and they were still working on this map, at least the pre-laid track, or this map. If I just have it just go right there. There we go, look at that! A lot more straighter. Why don't I use that instead? Looks like a better way up there. Okay, let's demolish this track right here. Okay. The steel trestle bridge, I very much like that because that allows you to have really tall places. Let's try, like, there we go. Oh, oops! In the ground too much. Okay. There's a lot of trees right here. I don't know why the developers would leave this track laying around here. Let's try 10%. Wow, 10%. Whoa, 10% doesn't even. Whoa! Let's try this. Okay. Let's try it like that. Okay. Then try going over here. Where did I delete that track? Aha! There we go. Okay. That works! It works! Okay. Okay. I'm liking this. I am really liking this. Looking fantastic already. Oops, that's demolished, not logging. Cutting these trees down way too close and are definitely in the way of these tracks over here. A lot of logging today. Make sure I get the saplings, because those would be a big nuisance. Railroading. I wish I could get rid of these plants, but they just stay there for some weird reason. Okay, this is looking great. Really great. Let's see how it look. I wish I could quickly get a locomotive over here to test it out with. Okay, this is looking fantastic. Fix the track over here. Okay, let's get some steel trestle tracks. Look at the. Oh, oops. I feel like this needs to be done in a certain way. Okay, let's just do it precise. Let's have it start straight. Really high incline. 10%, of course. Okay. that goes a long way from here. Okay. Let's have it turn just a little bit. Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Look at that. Alright, finally. Oops. Let's try and see if I can do that without using precise. Free placement. Okay. See if that'll work. Hey, that almost works. Hold on. Sometimes it's a little trial and error in this game of placing track. So it's right about over here is where I'm in trouble. Okay. And it should be a lot better. There we go. Look at that! Now that's perfect. Straight shot all the way to the iron mine. A lot less windy and curvy. There and back, you know. Yeah, look how long this would take. You know, it'd take a long time. Now I could just go full throttle when I start going through there, you know? Let's head back to the iron mine. First, let's set the switches. Oh yeah, I need to fix the track over here too. You'd think for pre-laid track you'd have a switch right here that you either go down this way or this way, you know? But it doesn't allow you to go this way. It doesn't make sense. You can easily have a switch track. Huh. I guess I'll have to be the one to fix that. Because I know I can fix that easily. Just need to redo this track. Just do left switch track. Perfect. And then... Oh. Oh, that's not good. It's embedded in the ground. Why is the track like that? That ain't right. Look at that. That isn't right. The track is so deep in the ground. That's weird. I can't do a switch track up here. Heck? Hold on a second. I got a better idea. Demolish the track here. Let's do left switch track. Now this should be better. Yes. There we go. Let's do a right switch. Wait a minute. Should demolish all this and have... Wait a minute. This is gonna be hard. I should demolish those two tracks right there completely and redo the entire thing. First, demolish this, and also demolish this track, of course. Perfect. Alright, now we gotta redo this. It's gonna take a minute. All of this. Three-way switch. You know what? This is an absolute perfect spot for a three-way switch. But the fair warning about those three-way switches, that these switches are designed so, let's say a train was going down from this track through this switch, but it was switched exactly like this, so it wouldn't go through. There's a specific spring design to this somewhere. I don't remember how it works. All I know how it works is that if a train gets too close, runs over, I think, this part of the track, then it'll automatically switch it to the other way to prevent it from crashing. But fair warning, with the three-way switch track, it does not have that, so you have to be very, very careful with this track. Otherwise, you're going to be running into a ton of train accidents. Okay, let's start with this track over here. Then this track going over here with a two-way switch. No, actually, another one. Okay, there we go. The third one will have a two-way switch right here. No, wait, that one was supposed to loop around. Hold on. I think it should be a two-way switch right here. Or maybe I should have done a two-way switch. I keep forgetting. Well, I lost my train of thought. Literally, how am I gonna do this? Why do I have a three-way switch here? Should have been two-way. Right switch. Okay. This is... Oh, I forgot to demolish one more track. This one. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. No, I just need to connect... Wait, it should have been a left switch, not right. There, left switch. There we go. There we go. First... Excuse me, connect this track over here. Let me look at this from a higher point of view. Okay. I can see this coming well. There's a two-way switch here. Two two-way switches. Oh my god, this is gonna be so hard to do, but it'd be so worth it at the end. Okay. Put a, let's see, right switch, like this. There we go. No! Dang it! This is so hard. I have to have it so it's not embedded in the ground too deep that the train will derail every time it goes through it. So, I guess I have to, oh boy. Why is it red? There we go, now it's green. Okay, maybe it should be a two-way on a two-way. Okay. This is gonna be hard to do this right. I am so baffled. This is gonna be so hard. Sorry about that, my controller disconnected. Okay. Let's do a switch and a switch. So we have one that connects both of those tracks, and one that goes... Yeah. How I would do this is I would first start... Why is that so embedded in the ground? It shouldn't... Ugh. Okay, okay. This is the hard part. I think I'm gonna have to demolish that. Set the switches here. There we go. Do another left switch. Like that. There we go. Now for the harder part. It's connecting the track all together. It's gonna be really stiff curve. Oh boy. Dang. Wait, if I demolish this switch completely, I don't see any point in it. Demolish that. There. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Let's find where I could demolish the track exactly knowing. Just take a lucky guess. There. That's a large piece of track. Okay. Let's try having a left switch over here. There we go. Let's try connecting a piece of track over here. Okay, maybe it needs to be farther away. Much farther away than that. How am I gonna do this? It's supposed to loop around with the ironworks, I think. Maybe demolish this track and have it... I mean, I have the switch right here, right? But the switch right there needs to loop around there. Wait. Yeah, look how hard that is. If I... move it all the way to the right, precise mode. This is like the tightest curve it could possibly be. I have a 40-degree. Huh, that works. I mean, I'm kind of scared that's a little too curvy right here. What am I gonna do? If I put a crisscross, I can have a loop around. No, too curvy. Oh my goodness, this is just so hard to set this up. Because sometimes you just have to redo the pre-laid track. It gets kind of confusing. Okay, there we go. Let's try. That's gonna be embedded in the ground. I was right. Why is it so low to the ground? Okay, this presents a hard challenge for this. It's hard to picture this in my head and have it actually work. First, let's connect these two tracks to this one switch, which I'm pretty sure will work properly. There. Much better. Connect this one. There. That's looking much better. Okay, it needs to be higher grade because it's. Let's try 2%. No, 1.5 or 1%. There. This is a lot of work to do. Just get a better bird's eye view of this. Okay, place a switch track somewhere along over here. There, right there is perfect. Place a right switch, exactly like right there. Perfect. Connect this. Please be working. That works. Okay. Perfect. This is exactly how it should be. Now you can still loop around, cut through the ironworks and stuff. Oh my goodness, that was so challenging right there. That was so hard to set up. Great. I can tell you this, placing track in Railroads Online can be easy, or it can be really hard like that, you know? There we go. That's exactly how I wanted it to be set up. You can still loop around the ironworks. I mean, kind of. At least loop around this area. At the same time, you can go straight to it from the iron mine. Okay. Now, I just hate to do this on the other side. Holy cow. It's going to be a lot less harder over here, because I know for a fact it will definitely work. Oh boy, that was such a pain. That was an absolute pain in the butt to do. It'll be much easier over here though. Let's do a right switch. Right here. Then do a left switch here. connect this on the right of the right switch. What the? Why isn't it green? Okay, there we go. There we go. Demolish this track. Then place it like so. There we go. There! Exactly how it should be. Now you can completely loop around the place. And it still works exactly how it should be. I bet I don't need to test it because I feel like that would take too long. It's all in working order. My goodness, that was so difficult. Okay, this track needs to be higher above the ground. Way too low. Let's use some wood trestle bridge. There, that's high enough above the ground. There, look at that! Much better! That is so much better. That took a lot of work. Finally, let's head off to the smelter and get the iron I have loaded all smelted. Finally. That was exhaustingly hard. Get it all switched and ready. Fast travel to the smelter so I know exactly which side I need to unload and load on. Okay, that's unloading. This is loading. Okay. This is where the iron gets unloaded. Okay. I don't think I need to fix... Okay, I feel like I definitely need to fix the track over here. Although it appears I'm out of time for streaming Railroads Online though, so I guess I'll head to the Iron Mine and edit here today, you know? I'll probably be doing a Fortnite stream. Man, that was so crazy with how long that took. Set the weather back to blizzard, I like it that way. There. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Captain Obvious, 1000% Fun Gaming. I hope you all enjoyed this amaze bucket Railroads Online stream as much as I did. Streaming for practically 3 hours. Almost 3 hours, you know. That was absolutely incredible right there, you know. If you like more content like this, then I highly recommend liking and subscribing to my awesome YouTube channel, Gavin at 55% Truth. I repeat, it is called Gavin at 55% Truth. Anyways, I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back for some more Minecraft Monday next week, you know. Man, that was exhausting. I love you all. I hope you all have an amazing day. You know. Bye. We do goodbye. Choo choo. I hope you enjoyed this. I love you all.